Alright, so in today's video, we are going to be unboxing our long-awaited Johnny Lightnings, the six-pack that I ordered off of eBay. So this is the Classic Gold 2020 release number 1, Classic Gold series. Been waiting on these guys for a little while. I think it's been about 11 days, and I know I've been hyping them up and talking about them in some of my previous videos, so they're finally here. But first things first, I just want to say, again, I know I talked about this in my last video, but since my last video, my subscriber count has almost doubled again, and the views on the lowrider video has almost doubled, and it's, I think, at 2,300 views. So, again, thank you so much, everyone, for watching all my stuff and tuning in. And thank you and welcome to all my new subscribers as well. Welcome to the channel, and thanks for joining us. So we're gonna jump right into these. First on the list, got it all the way hidden over here. You'll never guess what it is. It's another Cherokee, but this is a lifted one, so I had to have the Johnny Lightning with the lift kit, because all my other Cherokees are green lights, and they're all about stock ride height. So this one's really cool, and it's got little bushwhacker fender flares on it and a winch bumper, and it's the later model front end, so it looks like mine too. So that's exciting. Next, we've got a 1968 Ford Fairlane Torino GT convertible. Quite a name there. So that's pretty cool. I'm not too up to par on my Fairlanes, although it's a really cool looking car. Still like it a lot. We've got a 67 Dodge Charger. Still no 69 Chargers. I've got just about every other year though. I will eventually find a 69 Charger, not a Daytona, because I do have 2 Daytonas now. But this guy looks really similar. Well, I'll show you later. We'll keep moving through these. We've got a 71 Buick Riviera. That's pretty cool. A 73 Cadillac Eldorado convertible. So, do I have any other Cadillacs? I don't think I have any other Cadillacs. So, that's pretty cool. And last but certainly not least, we've got a 2008 Dodge Viper SRT10 ACR. So this is pretty exciting. I don't have any other Vipers in the collection. I don't have anything else with a V10 in it either. The Vipers are also another one of my all-time favorites. I remember they were probably my first favorite car as a kid. That was my first quote-unquote dream car. So that's pretty neat. It was only a matter of time before I got my hands on a Viper. So a lot of really cool stuff in this series. We're gonna get started with our Cherokee. So we'll pull the lift over and get this guy out of his box. I knew this day would come. I'm surprised I made it this far. I finally filleted myself opening one of my boxes here. I knew it was gonna happen eventually. I'm surprised I made it this far. The knife I use, if you can see, has quite the edge on it. So, yeah, I'll spare you the gore. Put a band-aid on. Fortunately, I managed not to cut my whole finger off. It was minor, but a flesh wound. So, let's see if we can pop the hood open on this guy. We've got our... What year did they say this is? Oh. That's quite interesting. We do have an opening hood, so this is our first Cherokee with an opening hood, so that's really exciting. On the box here, it just says Jeep Cherokee XJ. It doesn't give a specific year. Yeah, same on the back. It just says Jeep Cherokee XJ. So, fortunately, I know my Cherokees. This would have to be, because of the front end on this, this would have to be either a 99, a 2000, or a 2001. And 2001 was the last year for the Cherokee. and I believe 90. Oh, it could be 97. Nah, 97 or 98 was the last year for this front end style. I'd have to Google it real quick, but off the top of my head, I believe 99 is the first year for this style front end. But we finally get a chance, and because it's got a lift kit on it and kind of taller tires, it doesn't sit on the lift post, it just rolls back and forth. So that's fun. It is actually kind of have a lift kit on it. So we can see in here, we finally get a look at a 4-liter, a casting of a 4-liter. I think we've talked plenty about this motor. It makes, like, I think at the end of the Cherokee's existence, the highest horsepower the 4.0's ever made was like 200 horsepower. But they were bulletproof, you know, like I always say, not powerful enough to hurt themselves. Really cool casting though. I love that it's got a bit of a lift kit on it. It has the, if we look closely here in the front, we can see, if we can focus on it, yep, there we go. Looks like a little Smitty-built winch or something. A off-road bumper. It's got, those have to be bushwhacker fender flares. The big, goofy plastic fender flares that you can get online. What are those? Goodyear Wrangler all-terrains, I guess. They look like maybe an aftermarket wheel in there. But yeah, really cool that it looks lifted like that. We can see a little bit through the back fender there. You can see a little bit of daylight, but that's alright. Can't complain too much. Interior looks about right for a Cherokee. Coming around to the back, we've got, is that, yeah, Jeep and the 4-liter badge there on the back, and then the license plate says X Jeep or XJ Eep. So yeah, being that this is an XJ, it's plenty of words or little word plays you can do with the XJ letters. I've heard them all. We get the hood closed there. Yeah, probably my new favorite Cherokee, next to the Mopar Racing one, which is right here. Although they do match quite nice, being that they're both blue and relatively similar year ranges. So we'll take a look at our card here. We've got the Jeep XJ was the first SUV. Let me see if we can focus this. It was the first SUV with unibody construction rather than the body-on-frame construction like that of trucks. And that proves to be quite a nightmare if you off-road your Cherokee, unless you have frame stiffeners, which are basically just 3/16 inch steel plates that run the length of the entire unibody. They are not fun to put in. Ask me how I know. And it says the Jeep XJ has 8.3 inches of ground clearance, which is about the same as a Jeep Grand Cherokee of today. And if we look in the picture here, what I'm noticing, oh my gosh, that looks like his e-brake cable might be disconnected. Or something, no, there's the e-brake cable. Something's hanging off the back of that thing in the picture. But, and there's our paint code, of course, Patriot Blue. And then on the back, we just have a quick listing of all the rest of the vehicles we're going to be going over today. And then real quick, I did take a look at these. This is the Muscle Cars USA 2019 release number 3. A lot of really cool stuff in there. You've got a 58 Chevy Corvette, 70 Olds Cutlass, 70 Superbird, another AMC, or oh, that's a AMC Gremlin, Mercury Cougar, and a Mercury Cyclone. So, might keep my eyes peeled for that set next. But we'll get our card tucked into the drawer here. Get our Cherokee up into, that doesn't have an opening tailgate, does it? Oh no, it's just the, wait, no way. No, okay. It's just the back window, the little plastic piece is kind of loose in there. I thought it had an opening tailgate. I got really excited. So next, we will open up our Ford Fairlane Torino GT convertible. This is a, 68. So here's our 68 Fairlane Torino GT. Can take a look under the hood here. Actually, I'm gonna cheat. What does that say on the fender? I did do a little bit of research. There were quite a few engine options available in these guys. I can't quite make that out. But, so these came standard with a 302, but you could also get, I believe, a 390 and a 427 and a 428 as well in these. So, like I always say, I'm not really a Ford guy. I don't know my Ford motors or my Ford history all too well. But they're still really great to look at. I love this blue and white paint job. I think it looks absolutely awesome. Let me get our hood closed here. Hang on. There we go. Kind of has a little bit of a snap to it to shut that hood. Yeah, really cool graphics on the side there. Love the wheels on this. Of course, we've got our classic BF Goodrich tires. If you can make that out on the, right at the end of the back fender there, it does say Torino on it. I really love the interior on this car. It's kind of a, I don't know if that's supposed to be a black stripe down the middle of the seats, but it looks like kind of a lighter and dark blue contrast. And then coming around to the back, yeah, great looking car. Our nice Ford badge right across the trunk. So, bring this around. No mirrors on this one, unfortunately. Same with our Cherokee. It doesn't really seem to be much consistency with that. Kind of still bothers me a little bit. But what can you do? So here's our card. It says, we can focus in on that. For 1968 and 69, the Torino name was a sub-series to the Fairlane. From base model to highest option, the order was Fairlane, Fairlane GT, or Fairlane 500, Torino, and Torino GT. Okay. That kind of makes a little more sense. So being that this is a Torino GT, this is the top of the line. So if I had to guess, this probably has either the 427 or the 428 in it. Ford Fairlane was drastically redesigned in 1968 and grew in length by 4 inches to 201 inches. And then our paint code there is Wimbledon White. So, we'll get our card tucked into the drawer here. Stack of cards is getting huge. Might have to go over that stack of cards later in the video, just because we haven't gone over it in a while. And I figure this is probably going to be a long one, so we'll keep it moving to the 67 Dodge Charger. And we'll bring down our, what is this? The 66 Dodge Charger. So, this one was from probably one of my earliest videos on this channel. This one was handed down to me from my dad, part of his old collection. So now we have a 66 and a 67 to go together. So that's pretty cool. We'll get this guy out of the box and up on the lift. So here is our 67 Dodge Charger. I don't know if we're going to be able to see this one either, but if we come around to the side, on the fender there. That is a 440 Magnum badge. So there's our 440. Great looking car. Absolutely love the way this thing looks. I love the chrome trim down the sides. White wall tires are kind of I don't know, kind of takes away from the muscle carishness. But yeah, I love this interior. Bright red. If you can see that in there. Looks really good. What I'm starting to see is it looks like Johnny Lightning used the same casting for the 66 and 67 Chargers, if we can focus on them, even though they're right in front of us. Here we go. Yeah, these are pretty much the same casting, just this, the older one. This is copyright, what does that say, 2003. So this is an old, bit of an older one. Does have plastic wheels and tires as opposed to rubber tires. You can, come on camera, work with me a little bit here. But it does look like the same casting for the body. So that's pretty cool. Coming around to the back, losing focus again. There we go. Yeah, I really do like the mid-60s Chargers. Pretty uncommon to see them as a die-cast. Their license plate says "Power Up." You know, you're so used to seeing the 68 and 69 Chargers, being that's probably, you know, the Chargers' most popular years. But it is pretty cool to see a 67. We do have a 68 as well. Pull that down real quick. So there's a quick comparison between a 67 and a 68 Charger. I don't know, which one do you guys like better? I like them both, honestly. But we'll take a look at our card here. So we've got our classic facts. It says, with hidden headlights, it looked as if the front grille spanned the entire width of the front of the car. Yeah, that's pretty true. Take a look at that there. That's pretty cool. And then our next fact says, for the first time, the 440 cubic inch Magnum motor was optional in the Dodge Charger for the 1967 model year. So this is the first year you could get a 440 in the Charger. That's pretty interesting. And there's our paint code, dark red poly. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright. Get one more good look at this. Really a lot of great detail in here. We've got the Dodge badge across the hood. That grill looks awesome. I believe it does say Charger up here on the, I guess that would be the B pillar, since it's a two-door. So we'll get this guy tucked into the parking garage. Put this one back up on the shelf. I think I might have to put those two next to each other when I stow them away. So we'll keep moving here. We'll get into our 1971 Buick Riviera. So here is our 71 Buick Riviera with our big 455 in there. Although this was still early 70s, I don't think the 455s in these made a lot of power. I think they only made about 250 horsepower. So yeah, not exactly the fastest thing on the road, but 250 horsepower is enough to get you out of your own way. It's a shame it took 7.5 liters to do it. But still a really cool looking car. I like the vinyl top. Really cool looking front end on this thing. Yeah. White walls are a little bit wonky on this one, but as per usual with Johnny Lightnings, you know. Get our hood closed here. Yeah, really great looking car. It's even got, if we come around to the back, really cool looking back end. There was a shop up the street from my house when I was a kid that had one of these sitting in the lot, and I always thought the back ends of these things looked so cool, like a speedboat. And then if you can just make out, there's little vents on the trunk there. Of course, the Buick logo on the back, and then what is license plate says turquoise. Yes, very observant. Yeah, really cool looking car. So we'll take a look at our card here. Can we focus on our card here? So it says classic vehicle styling from the 1935 Auburn Boattail Speedster and the 1963 Chevy Corvette, inspired the 1971 Buick Riviera. Yeah, that's very easy to see if you know what the 1963 to 1967 Corvettes look like. Very easy to see the inspiration there. And then for our next fact, it says the raised centerline seam. Okay, there's a little bit of the plastic there. The raised centerline seam above and below the rear window is functional to keep the rear window from shattering over bumps and during installation. Huh. Wow. That's interesting. And then our paint code there is Twilight Turquoise Poly. So yeah, it's a great looking color. It does have a bit of a metal flake look to it. Sort of metallic-ish. So, great looking car. I do love the way those, the metal flake paint jobs look on, excuse me, underneath LED lights. Very satisfying. So next on the list, we've got our 1973 Cadillac Eldorado convertible. So we'll get this guy popped open. So here we go. Here's our 73 Cadillac Eldorado. We'll move our Viper over so we can see it. We've got the hood open here. I believe this is a 500 cubic inch V8. At the time, the largest displacement V8 ever fitted to an automobile. Don't think they made a lot of horsepower though. I think horsepower numbers were right around the 200 range. Which is kind of disappointing, but you know, it was the 70s, and absolutely massive car too, you know. So first thing I'm seeing is that tire is that tire is actually square. That is yeah, there's no way around that. That is a square tire. Very good. Awesome. Love to see it. Nice little Cadillac. What does that say? Yeah, that's the Cadillac badge there. Got a little reflector tag light out there at the back of the car because the damn thing was so long. Yeah, really cool looking car. Got, what does it say on the license plate? Barely make that out. You priceless. Oh. Come on, focus. There you go. Oh, sorry, upper class. Right. Duh. And then that is either Cadillac or yeah, Cadillac badge there. I really do love this style with the wheels tucked up under the rear fenders on old luxury cars. I've always loved that look. Such a sleek look. Yeah, great looking car. We'll get right into our facts here. We are running up there in time. So it says the first Cadillac Eldorado was introduced in 1953 for the golden anniversary of the Cadillac brand. That means 50 years, right? It started in 1903. The name Eldorado joins two Spanish words translating to the golden one. It also refers to El Dorado, the fabled South American lost city of gold. And our paint code there is Harvest Yellow. I'm not like in love with this paint color, you know. It's kind of, but it fits the car really well. It is a more of a luxury car than a muscle car, so you can't really expect it to be a bright purple or something. So last on our list, we've got our 2008 Dodge Viper SRT10 ACR. So we'll get this guy cracked open. Alright, look at this thing, man. I have been dying to get a Viper into the collection here. There's our I believe this is the 8.4 liter V10, good for, I believe, 500 to 600 horsepower, maybe upwards of higher than 600 horsepower. So, yeah, an absolute powerhouse of an engine. And really sick looking car, too. First V10 in the collection here. If you know Vipers, you know the early model Vipers from the early to mid 90s. The V10 in those was actually adapted from the V10 in the Ram 2500, and the car it didn't have ABS, didn't have traction control, no stability control or anything. So you basically had this tiny little coupe with a massive V10 that had essentially unlimited torque and no way to control it other than your right foot. So needless to say, they were known as Widowmakers, but this is 2008, so later in production, you know, they became a little bit more safe, but still an absolute animal of a car. We can get our hood closed here. It looks absolutely sick. Just so mean looking. And if you've ever heard one, if not, go look up a video of them. They sound absolutely like, you know, like nothing you've ever heard before. The V10 sounds so cool in these things. They don't sound like what you'd think of a V10, like a Lamborghini. These have more of like a choppier, almost hot roddy sound to them. So it's so cool. Around to the back. Our license plate says Venomous. Yes, yes indeed. There's our Viper badge down there. And so this is really cool with this generation of Viper. Right here is a Viper logo that also doubles as the third brake light. So when you step on the brakes, it lights up a little Viper logo, or a little Viper. This guy right here. That's what your third brake light would look like. So I always thought that was really cool. And then from the factory you get side exit exhausts. So yeah, really sick car. Take a look at our card here. We've got our classic facts. ACR stands for American Club Racer. This Dodge Viper has several track-specific upgrades for increased performance and speed. It'd be cool if they told us what they all were. The upgraded brakes, there you go, were slotted two-piece StopTech 14-inch rotors. From 60 miles an hour, they can clamp the car to a halt in less than 100 feet. That is pretty impressive, and that's, you know, with great speed, you need great brakes too. Something sometimes people don't think about, but yeah, absolutely awesome looking car. Let's see, our hood's not quite closing. There we go. And then our paint code, of course, can't forget about that. Viper Bright Orange. So yeah, really awesome looking car. So, what do you say we get these 6 new cars into the parking garage and take a look at them under the lights? Alright, so we'll start off down the line with our 73 Cadillac Eldorado. There's our 67 Dodge Charger. The 2008 Dodge Viper. And our mystery year Jeep Cherokee. And then there is our 71 Buick Riviera. And moving down, easy there, camera, to our 68 Ford Fairlane Torino. So, thank you again to all of my new subscribers. Thank you for joining us. If you liked the video, make sure you leave a like and leave a comment and hit the subscribe button. And I will see you in the next video.